Listen to a story for beginners to learn English, first with subtitles, then without subtitles. If you listen every day for 10 minutes, your spoken English will improve.
A trip to the seaside. Sarah and Tom had been dreaming of traveling together for a long time, and finally the day had come. They arrived at the airport early so they wouldn't have to rush and could go through all the procedures calmly. Sarah checked her bag. Her passport and tickets were in place. Tom was carrying the suitcases and smiled at his wife.
They approached the check-in counter, where a friendly airline employee greeted them, checked their documents, and handed them their boarding passes. Then, Sarah and Tom passed through security and headed to the waiting area. "Look at that huge plane," Sarah said excitedly. A few minutes later, boarding was announced. The couple walked to the gate, showed their tickets, and boarded the plane. The flight. Sarah chose a window seat and watched with interest as the plane prepared for takeoff. Tom sat beside her, smiling as he observed her excitement. When the plane took off, Sarah looked out of the window with wonder. The ground became small, and the clouds looked fluffy and soft. After some time, the flight attendant offered drinks to the passengers. Sarah chose orange juice, and Tom ordered a coffee. They relaxed and enjoyed the flight. 2 hours later, the captain announced that the plane was approaching its destination. Sarah looked out of the window again and saw the turquoise sea, green forests, and white houses along the shore. It was a magical sight.
Arriving at the hotel. After landing, Sarah and Tom collected their luggage and left the airport. They took a taxi to their hotel. The road ran along the coast, and Sarah couldn't take her eyes off the view. "It's so beautiful here," she said. Soon, they arrived at the hotel. The receptionist welcomed them, checked their reservation, and handed them the room key. "You have a wonderful room with a sea view," she said. Sarah and Tom went up to their room. When they opened the balcony doors, a breathtaking view unfolded before them: the blue sea, gentle waves, and the sun reflecting on the water. "This is the perfect place to relax," Tom said.
Lunch at a cafe. After a long journey, the couple was hungry, so they decided to have lunch at a cafe by the beach. They chose a cozy table under the shade of palm trees. Sarah ordered a salad and grilled fish, while Tom chose a burger. The waiter brought their meals, and they started eating with great pleasure. "This fish is amazing," Sarah said. "And my burger is just perfect," Tom replied. They enjoyed their meal and the fresh sea breeze.
Buying souvenirs. After lunch, the couple decided to walk around the town and buy some souvenirs. They entered a small shop selling postcards, seashell jewelry, and bottles of sand. Sarah chose a beautiful seashell necklace for her mother, and Tom bought a postcard with an image of the local beach. "Now we have something to remember this place by," Sarah said with a smile.
A walk on the beach. As the sun began to set, they went for a walk on the beach. The air was warm, and the sea gently rolled its waves onto the shore. They took off their shoes and walked barefoot on the sand, enjoying the soft touch of the waves. The sunset painted the sky in shades of pink and orange. Tom put his arm around Sarah, and they sat down on the sand, watching the breathtaking view. "This was a wonderful day," Sarah said. "Yes, one of our best trips," Tom agreed. They took a few photos to remember the moment and stayed on the beach, listening to the sound of the waves and enjoying the peaceful evening. It was the perfect start to their journey. Listen to a story for beginners to learn English, first with subtitles, then without subtitles. If you listen every day for 10 minutes, your spoken English will improve.
A trip to the seaside. Sarah and Tom had been dreaming of traveling together for a long time, and finally the day had come. They arrived at the airport early so they wouldn't have to rush and could go through all the procedures calmly. Sarah checked her bag. Her passport and tickets were in place. Tom was carrying the suitcases and smiled at his wife.
They approached the check-in counter, where a friendly airline employee greeted them, checked their documents, and handed them their boarding passes. Then, Sarah and Tom passed through security and headed to the waiting area. "Look at that huge plane," Sarah said excitedly. A few minutes later, boarding was announced. The couple walked to the gate, showed their tickets, and boarded the plane. The flight. Sarah chose a window seat and watched with interest as the plane prepared for takeoff. Tom sat beside her, smiling as he observed her excitement. When the plane took off, Sarah looked out of the window with wonder. The ground became small, and the clouds looked fluffy and soft. After some time, the flight attendant offered drinks to the passengers. Sarah chose orange juice, and Tom ordered a coffee. They relaxed and enjoyed the flight. 2 hours later, the captain announced that the plane was approaching its destination. Sarah looked out of the window again and saw the turquoise sea, green forests, and white houses along the shore. It was a magical sight.
Arriving at the hotel. After landing, Sarah and Tom collected their luggage and left the airport. They took a taxi to their hotel. The road ran along the coast, and Sarah couldn't take her eyes off the view. "It's so beautiful here," she said. Soon, they arrived at the hotel. The receptionist welcomed them, checked their reservation, and handed them the room key. "You have a wonderful room with a sea view," she said. Sarah and Tom went up to their room. When they opened the balcony doors, a breathtaking view unfolded before them: the blue sea, gentle waves, and the sun reflecting on the water. "This is the perfect place to relax," Tom said.
Lunch at a cafe. After a long journey, the couple was hungry, so they decided to have lunch at a cafe by the beach. They chose a cozy table under the shade of palm trees. Sarah ordered a salad and grilled fish, while Tom chose a burger. The waiter brought their meals, and they started eating with great pleasure. "This fish is amazing," Sarah said. "And my burger is just perfect," Tom replied. They enjoyed their meal and the fresh sea breeze.
Buying souvenirs. After lunch, the couple decided to walk around the town and buy some souvenirs. They entered a small shop selling postcards, seashell jewelry, and bottles of sand. Sarah chose a beautiful seashell necklace for her mother, and Tom bought a postcard with an image of the local beach. "Now we have something to remember this place by," Sarah said with a smile.
A walk on the beach. As the sun began to set, they went for a walk on the beach. The air was warm, and the sea gently rolled its waves onto the shore. They took off their shoes and walked barefoot on the sand, enjoying the soft touch of the waves. The sunset painted the sky in shades of pink and orange. Tom put his arm around Sarah, and they sat down on the sand, watching the breathtaking view. "This was a wonderful day," Sarah said. "Yes, one of our best trips," Tom agreed. They took a few photos to remember the moment and stayed on the beach, listening to the sound of the waves and enjoying the peaceful evening. It was the perfect start to their journey.